Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you have not already, please consider subscribing and helping us feed a hungry hippo. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Happy New Year! This video should come out on Monday, January 1st, 2024. So Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and a celebration of things to come. Today I'm going to talk about goals because that's fitting for a new year. But before I do that, I need to preface this video with explaining to you guys that I don't believe in resolutions and why. The reason I don't believe in making resolutions is twofold. I have two reasons. The first, I think some folks will put off implementing changes in their life or making new goals because they're putting it off to wait for the new year or Monday or next month. And I really feel like every day is a chance to improve yourself. Every day is a chance to become a better person. All this time I've been talking about bullet journals leading up into the new year. We've talked about how to implement better routines and schedules, how to be more productive, how to list more and more quickly, how to figure out where you're wasting time and eliminate that. That's things that you can do all year. If you want to be healthier, drink more water, eat better, you can do that all year. But I think a lot of people get in this mindset, and it's not just for the new year, it's for Monday or next month or next week. Just this mindset where because it's a random Thursday and you wake up and decide that you want to stop eating ice cream every night, you can't do it because you got to wait for Monday. Every single day is a chance to better yourself, to become a more productive person, a healthier person, to implement any kind of goals or changes in your life that you want to. So don't put it off waiting for the new year, next week, next month. So that's the first reason I don't like resolutions. I think they make people procrastinate. And I also feel like people go into a new year every year making all kinds of resolutions that they're going to stick with for maybe a week or two, and then they're out the door. And the reason being is because they've procrastinated so long that now they have too many. And when you try to implement too many new habits at one time, you're never going to be able to stick with them all. It's just too much. And also, people get a little lofty. So when you're going into a new year and you're all excited and you've got that New Year's resolution feeling, it's very easy to sit there and make a ton of resolutions that are just way beyond the limits, not achievable, and you're just setting yourself up for failure or disaster. So I don't really like resolutions for those reasons. But do I want to set some goals? Sure. I set goals every week, every month, every year, every quarter, every day. I do think it is a time to reflect, for sure. We can all look back at 2023 and think what we could have done better, what we want to keep doing because we did it really well, habits you want to get rid of, and all of that. I also want to add to this. I did mention when you try to do too many new habits at once, it's hard to juggle all those balls. I've said this before, but it bears repeating. A really good habit takes 30 days to get into the routine, to do it enough that it's autopilot, that becomes part of your life. So when you're doing something new, you almost have to really think about it and sometimes force yourself to do it for those first 30 days and sometimes beyond, depending on your personality, until it becomes natural. So my best example is, let's say you don't make your bed, but starting in January, you want to make your bed every morning. Well, you're probably going to have to remind yourself at least for a month to do that. But then, because you've been doing it for 30 days or more, then it becomes natural and your feet will hit the floor and you'll make the bed. But going into goals, I really wanted to preface it with my little speech about resolutions. Don't get so excited that you're setting too many or unachievable goals because it's the new year. And remember, you have all year to work on yourself. So when you write your goals down, I always advise people to write the most important to the least. And what's most important to you is not going to be the same to me. Maybe reading more books in 2024 is really important to me, but it's not important to somebody who doesn't like to read. It's not important to somebody who has other things that they want to fill their time up with rather than reading. If you need to make more money, Then goals orientating around listing more, sourcing better items, getting into routines and processes for your business that are going to make you more productive are probably your most important goals. If you're at where you want to be in your business and you're just maintaining, then maybe this is the time to consider a new habit, a new craft to try, a new hobby. What I want you to do first and foremost is to keep tracking your activities going through the month of January into February. We've talked about tracking how much you're listing, where you're spending your time, if you're wasting time, where you can be more productive, but also pay attention to the things that you have to do every day, the things you can't avoid. We all have to eat, and depending on what your family looks like, you may have other people you have to take care of, chauffeur around, take to events. So just keep that in your peripheral, all the things you need to do and have to do, because the things that you need to do and have to do are the things that you have to work around. The things that are unmovable in your life are what we're going to build our work schedules around, right? But all through January, going into February, I want you guys to keep tracking all of that and start thinking about new goals for January, for February, because we're not just going to do resolutions for 2024. No, we're going to do goals for every week, every day, every month until we are exactly where we want to be in our work lives, our health, our exercise, everything. And I want you guys to feel accomplished and I want you to feel successful. So make sure when you're choosing goals that they are achievable and attainable. Don't set lofty goals for yourself that you're never going to be able to finish. Don't say you're going to list 200 items a day, 100 items a day, if you know you can't list that many a day, because you're never going to reach that goal. But also keep in mind that you want to not set the bar too low either. You don't want to make things too easy for yourself. You do want to challenge yourself a little bit, and you do want to get a little bit better every day, week, month, right? So if you're consistently listing 5 items a day or consistently photographing 10 items a day, challenge yourself to do a couple more. Bump it up. If you're comfortable where you're at, if you're finding that you're having extra time on your hands, that's the time to bump things up. That's the time to challenge yourself. I always tell people, don't get too comfortable. You always want to challenge yourself to do better, to be better, to do more. But again, it's also where your business is. If you're in growth mode, you're going to have to work a little bit harder. If you're selling exactly what you need to or what you want to, and you're just maintaining and trying to relist what you're selling, you're not going to push yourself as hard. But maybe you want to push yourself harder. Even when you're in maintain mode, maybe if you could list 2 more a day, 3 more a day, and challenge yourself to that, you'll have a little bit more of, what do they used to call it, walking around money. If your business is exactly where you need it and you're making what you need, we could all use a little bit of extra fun money, right? So maybe you challenge yourself to list a couple extra a day and then treat yourself to an extra dinner out, an extra movie, a book, something each month. So write down somewhere the things you want to accomplish in 2024. We're not going to call these resolutions. We're just going to call these goals that we want to work on. And again, I want you to try to kind of put them in importance. Now, if you're a brainstormer, which I am, like when I sit down to make a list, I just write things as they come to me. I don't have a way of writing it from most important to least important as I'm thinking. So you can go back in and number them. You can do some kind of color coding system. You can write everything down as it comes to you in a brainstorming session, all the things you want to do this year, and then go back and color code. This has to do with my business. This is personal life, social life, health. You can color code it, highlight it, and then you can break those down into separate lists for work, personal, social, and then number them in importance or rewrite them in order of importance. Whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong way. Everyone thinks differently. Everyone's brain does things differently. But what I like to do is just sit down and just write them as they come to me. I usually go back through and color code based on what section of my life it goes to. And then I'll make a separate list: work, health, and then write them in order of importance. But you can just renumber them or whatever you want to do. But I want you to really think about it. Don't get too lofty. Don't get too excited. You're not going to implement these all at once. So when I say really think about it and write down an entire list of everything you want to do in 24, this isn't like going into the new year with too many resolutions, because everyone tries to do those right away. The thing with resolutions is people will set 50 of them, wake up January 1st and try to have an entirely new lifestyle with 50 new habits all at once. And that's not how it works. You're going to work on one or two things at a time. That's why you're putting them in order of importance, because you're only going to choose one or two to start implementing at a time so that you can build these new habits that become something you do on autopilot. So by the end of the year, you can have all of these things implemented into your routines and your schedules, but you didn't try to do them all at once. So really think about it. What do you want to do for your business this year? Do you want to do more listings? Do you want to thrift better items? Do you have bills you want to pay down, debt, credit cards, things like that that you want to put money towards? Do you want to implement a system for house cleaning, for chores and routines in your house that's going to work better for you and your schedule? Do you want to do anything with weight loss, exercise, eating more healthy? Do you want to get a new pet? Do you want to drink more water? Do you want to be more conscious of washing your makeup off before you go to bed? Reading, movies, social events, time with family. Do you need to like actually sit down and force yourself to write in your schedule time with your family? And if you do, I'm not judging you. Some of us get so super busy or so hyper focused on work that we forget that maybe once a week we should go visit our mom and have dinner with her, or whatever the case may be. So write all these things down, but make sure that they're attainable. You know, if you want to lose weight, make sure it's something that you can implement and attain. You're not going to lose 100 pounds in 1 week. Don't set lofty goals, really. I assure you that's going to set you up for failure. And nothing feels worse than failing on a goal. It really, nothing else in this world than when you're all excited and you think you're going to do something and you don't reach it. And you can also break goals down into baby steps. I mean, if you want to lose 100 pounds, okay, but you're not going to do it in a week. How are you going to do it? Make a plan. Make attainable goals along the way. Maybe 2 pounds a week for 50 weeks. Maybe 5 pounds a week. Whatever you want to do. But just make sure that you're setting yourself up for success and not for failure. So make those goals attainable. And some goals, yes, will need to be broken down into baby steps and into smaller chunks. If you want to get up to where you can list 20 items a day, you're currently at 5, you're going to need to work on your systems and your routines before you're going to be able to do 20. So don't jump from 5 to 20 because you're not going to do it. You're going to fail, you're going to feel like crap, and you're not going to succeed. You first need to see why you're only listing 5, and that goes back to some of my other videos I've been putting out recently. Are you doing that batch work? Are you focused? Are you just sitting down and working? Or are you taking a break every 2 minutes to look at TikTok or Facebook? You need to figure out why you're only listing 5, and then work on systems and processes that will make you be able to do things more quickly. Then you can do 6, then you can do 8, then you can do 10. And you can just work your way up a little bit at a time until you're doing that 20. Also, tell somebody a goal you're working on. You can tell me. You can go on my Facebook group and join us over there. We're Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. You are more than welcome to go in there and make a thread and say, hey, my goal for January is to get from 10 listings a day to 15. And this is where I'm going to keep track of it. You're more than welcome to say, I want to walk every day and I'm going to keep track of it. But tell somebody. Tell me. Make a post in the group. Tell your mom, your sister, your friend, your dog. Probably not your dog because he's not going to hold you accountable. But the reason I say tell somebody is for the accountability. The best example I have for this is when I finally quit smoking. It's because I told folks. Prior to that, I probably was not ready to quit smoking. But I would tell myself internally every week, come Monday, I'm going to quit. Come tomorrow, I'm going to quit. And I'd be all excited and I'd think I was going to quit smoking, and I never did. When I finally told other people around me that I was going to quit smoking, I had other people saying, what are you buying cigarettes for? What are you lighting up for? What are you doing? I had other people who knew what I was trying to do, who could hold me accountable, but also support me and help me make better decisions than lighting up another cigarette. Does that make sense? So tell somebody, tell 5 somebodies, tell people who are going to be supportive, who are going to hold you accountable, because you want those people to cheer you on. You want to tell people that want you to succeed, that want to help you achieve these goals. I think that's really all I have to say about goals for the years. For the years, how many years are we doing here? For the year, just make sure you write down everything you want to do, sort it into the different compartments of your life: work, social, family, leisure, self-care, and work on them 1 or 2 at a time, and break it into smaller chunks, and make sure it's things you can achieve. You probably can achieve 20 listings a day, but you're not going to jump there from 5 until you figure out why you're only doing 5 and how to get better to the 20. You're probably not going to just start eating healthy if you've always liked junk food. You're going to fall off the wagon a couple times. Maybe you need to make a cheat day. But this is a way to feasibly have a ton of goals for 2024 without jumping into it as resolutions that you just have too many things. You're not going to wake up suddenly on January 1st a completely new person who's implementing 15 different things in their life and their work schedules. It's just not how it works. Baby steps, create those good habits over 30 days. Tell folks to hold you accountable. Break things into chunk and make lists. Make a million lists. Make a whole book of lists. Lists are your friends. Lists are where you keep track of everything. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. Go make your list of goals, guys, and have a very good first week of 2024. I'll see you next time. Bye.